You may be careless in dress, if it is in your nature, but the soul must be kept tidy. Not many of us can bear happiness, meaning the happiness of our neighbor. If you speak only the truth, you need not be mindful of anything. If you give your word that you will not do something, you will want to do it. If the friendship is over, then it never existed. Do not be deluded into thinking that the world owes you something. It was before you and owes you nothing. Man is the only animal capable of blushing. In fact, he's the only one who has to. It is better to keep your mouth shut and let people think you are a fool than to open your mouth and dispel all doubts. The worst loneliness is when one is uncomfortable with oneself. If you need money, go to strangers. If you need advice, go to friends. And if you don't need anything, go to relatives. When my wife and I disagree, we usually do what she wants. My wife calls it compromise. Being good, it wears a person down so much. The only way to stay healthy is to eat what you don't want, drink what you don't like, and do what you don't like. The truth should be served the way a coat is served, not thrown in your face like a wet towel. To be happy, one must live in one's own paradise. Did you really think that the same paradise could satisfy all people without exception? I'm not afraid of disappearing. Before I was born, I was gone for billions and billions of years, and I didn't suffer a bit from it. A true friend is with you when you are wrong. When you're right, everyone will be with you. Wrinkles should only mark the places where smiles used to be. Avoid those who try to undermine your belief in yourself. A great person, on the contrary, instills the feeling that you can become great. You can't rely on your eyes if your imagination is unfocused. Fortune knocks on every person's door once in a lifetime, but the person is often sitting in the nearest beer hall at the time and hears no knock. If you pick up a yard dog on the street and feed it, it will never bite you. That's the difference between a dog and a human. Don't let school interfere with your education. At 50, a person can be an ass without being optimistic, but can no longer be optimistic without being an ass. People usually succeed if they take the path of least resistance. There is nothing more annoying than a good example. Those who don't know where they are headed will be very surprised to find themselves in the wrong place. To create man was a glorious and original idea, but to create a sheep after that was to repeat oneself. It is the way of the world that man, having stopped worrying about one thing, begins to worry about another. Often, the surest way to mislead a man is to tell him the plain truth. Don't put off for tomorrow what you can put off for the day after tomorrow. It takes more than 3 weeks to prepare a good impromptu speech. Truth is the most precious thing we have. Let's save it. Be careful when you read health books. A typo could cost you your life. Let's thank the fools. Without them, it would be hard for the rest of us to succeed. Friendship is such a holy, sweet, lasting, and permanent feeling that it can be preserved for life, as long as you don't try to ask to borrow money. The best way to shake yourself is to shake someone else. Too bad the serpent in paradise wasn't forbidden. Then Adam probably would have eaten it. People who have their own grief know how to comfort others. A bank is an institution where you can borrow money if you have a way of convincing yourself that you don't need it. Forgiveness is the fragrance a violet gives to the one who trampled it. The human brain is a marvelous thing. It works perfectly until the minute you get up to make a speech. I've known a lot of trouble, but most of it never happened. Buy land, because no one produces it anymore. Never argue with fools. They will bring you down to their level and overwhelm you with experience. If a human could be crossed with a cat, the human would benefit. The same can't be said for a cat. Work as if money is of no importance to you. God created man because he was disappointed with the monkey. After that, he refused to experiment further. There are three kinds of lies: lies, brazen lies, and statistics. Noise proves nothing. The hen who laid the egg often flaps as if she laid a small planet. If all people thought alike, no one would play the horse races then. A wise man prefers to silently distance himself from people who don't conform to his values. Dance like no one is looking at you. Sing as if no one can hear you. Love as if you've never been betrayed, and live as if earth were paradise. I made it a rule to never smoke more than one cigarette at a time. Kindness is something the deaf can hear and the blind can see. To summarize, remember Mark Twain's words: 20 years from now, you will be more disappointed by what you didn't do than by what you didn't do than by what you did. Live boldly, learn from mistakes, and stay true to yourself. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like and subscribe to the GreatsQuotes channel. Thanks for watching and see you soon.